Hello everyone and welcome back to another deck testing episode of Tattoos, Cards and Games for Opus 26. On the left we have James Bolch, who will be running a Crystals variant of the Gigawol, and Ezra Holman on the right running Chaos Arc. And it looks like Ezra has taken the high roll, which means he's likely to be going first. I think for most people out there, we know how Chaos Arc runs. So here we're going to see him play into a Rydia, which is going to fetch him a summon and a summoner. Opting here for a Seymour and just switching out his Rydia for his foil, because we all know foils are better. So there he picks a Kusith as well. Okay, so James in his turn 1 playing into a Sylvester. This is the this is the new Sylvester. Plays very well into Gigawol, allows you to search for a light forward, and it also allows you to play a forward of cost 3, or I believe it's a forward of cost 3 onto the field as well. Zeramus to enter to freeze that Rydia, making for a great first turn for James. And here we see a Delusory Warlock. It's going to reduce the cost to cast X-Death, and it will also search you for one job mannequin other than Lightning to add to your hand. Looks like he opted for Lady Antiquity and has paid that cost, so it has also entered the field. Lady of Antiquity also reduces the cost to cast X-Death by 1. So no doubt this game we're likely to see an X-Death at some point. Lady Antiquity, to note, also does allow you to cast your job mannequins with any colour. So on James's turn, looks like he's swung with the Zeramus, issuing his first point of damage to Ezra, and has played into his 7-cost Warrior of Light. So we've got the Mog so far. Oh, and we got the Gilgamesh. So those being the only 2 options, and not being bad options at all. So here we'll get a draw for the Mog, which is very nice. And I believe the Gilgamesh would have had haste. So probably kicking himself a bit there for not playing the Warrior of Light before going to combat. And here we see straight into a chaos. So for those of you that do not know what Chaos does, he is reduced in cost by 2 for each element among the characters your opponent controls. When he enters the field, he takes control of a forward other than light or dark. So it looks like there Ezra also cast an arc to get rid of something. The Gilgamesh, sorry. And took control of the Mog. So James here now, because of the arc, obviously he had to discard 2 after the break of the Gilgamesh. So now just opting to go straight to combat, and looks like Ezra is triggering an EX, which I believe is Reeve. So it's going to search him a Vincent or a Kate Sith. And there we see a great card in this matchup is the new Vincent. Again, those of you that don't know what the new Vincent does, let's just read up for you. I believe he... I don't have it in front of me. I believe he does a 7k to the board, to your opponent's board. Now Ezra going to combat, swinging in with the Chaos and the Mog, which makes perfect sense. Zeramus would only freeze, dull them down at the end of the turn anyway. And he is casting Hecaton. So Hecaton will just choose one back off of cost 3 or more and break it. Putting James in a slightly tougher spot now, because anything that he does have to play, bearing in mind the Gigawol typically runs a lot of 3 cost forwards, he's likely now to have to overpay for, but no, it looks like he's paying into, I think it's a Scholar. It's 3 cost you draw a card. I think it was a Scholar. So it's very hard to see some of these cards because of the glare. Zeramus swing and Warrior of Light swing. No EX. To note, the Chaos is down because when Zeramus swung, he froze it. So just playing here into another Lady of Antiquity, just bringing the cost of that eventual X-Death down even further. And he's a straight pass. So to note here, Ezra is sitting at 5 points of damage. But James clearly not seeing what he wants at this point. So just playing into another backup there, it's going to draw him a card. And again, swinging with the Zeramus, freeze down that Chaos. So yeah, that's putting Ezra to 6. Swinging here with the Warrior of Light as well, opting to block with the Mog. Ezra here now casting a Mist Dragon to remove that break zone. deeming Gilgamesh no longer a threat. Okay, so Ezra playing into a man in black. So when man in black enters the field or attacks, you can choose to summon in your break zone, remove it from the game, and then you can cast it at any time. You could normally cast a summon. So it's just a great way for him to recur that arc back. Casting the arc to get rid of the Zeramus, forcing another discard of 2. Arc is just crazy with chaos. Now James in a really sticky position here. Obviously he has Ezra at 6 points of damage, but trying to get that last point of damage in is really difficult. I mean, I don't know, I suppose you could maybe surge Ez from LB to dull the man in black down. But if Surges isn't in the LB, then that's not an option. So it looks like he just passes. Ezra now in a really strong position. Okay, so opting to play the LB Lightning, this is going to allow him to choose one Lightning summon in his break zone and add it back to his hand. And move into combat, swinging with the man in black to recur the arc, casting the arc to remove the Warrior of Light. Now James again gonna have to discard 2 here. Ezra really just not allowing him to have any kind of hand advantage whatsoever. That infinite loop cycle between man in black, chaos and arc, it's just really hard to deal with. You need to be able to get rid of that man in black and or be able to remove cards from game. I think yeah, they're just discussing the interaction I was talking about. It's that infinity loop that is just horrible. Seeing if there's anything in that LB that's going to help out. I mean, it feels bad being 1 point of damage away from winning game. Okay, so playing into a Lena. If there's 2 or more different elements among characters you control, you get to draw a card. So he got the draw. Unfortunately, there weren't 4. Otherwise, one of the forwards would be going. One of Ezra's forwards would have been going to the break zone as well. But at the moment, James just needs bodies, and here we see paying 3 again to play into a Faris. Now, Faris, I don't mind Faris here because it's going to deal 7k to something, but I just don't think it's enough. I mean, it could break lightning. Okay, so it looks like on the stack he's going to cast 5-drop Odin. So 5-drop Odin will break the Faris. So at resolution, I believe the damage won't get dealt, but because of the 3 points of damage, the search will still trigger. And he opts to search out another Bart's. Now I think he's been trying to get to 3 crystals. Okay, so again, swinging with man in black, bringing back an arc, free to cast at any point. Obviously deciding he doesn't need that Vincent anymore, so discards it, taps 3 to play into a Tyro, and his search target there is clearly X-Death. So X-Death, we know how it works generally. If there are 10 cards or more removed from the game, X-Death gains 2k, which makes him a 10k forward. When he enters the field, remove all the characters in each player's break zone from the game. At the end of the turn, if there are 20 or more cards removed from the game and your opponent selects a character they control, they remove it from the game. So it looks like Ezra only has 9, so he doesn't get the buff, but I don't think it really matters at this point. But in total, after James's pile, looks like there were more than 20, so Lena went out of game. Now to know anything that James does play in will more than likely be immediately arced. Looks like James here going for the only play available to him, so plays into a banana Sid, as we call him. Searches himself out a Cyan. He's going to be able to play the Cyan to field. He's not going to be able to pay any extra cost to gain crystals, unfortunately. It's just a body on field to get arced. And there we go. So we see casting an arc from hand for free. At this point, I don't even know why Ezra draws. There's no point. Swing with man in black. Swing with lightning. Swing with X-Death. Swing with chaos. And that's game. Thanks for coming back and watching another video. We'll try and get another one up as soon as possible. But we hope you enjoyed this one. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching.